we are looking at NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. NATO was a defensive alliance of the Western Bloc countries formed on 4th April 1949 in Washington, D.C. The founding members were 12 nations, which included USA, Britain, France, Belgium, Italy, Canada, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Norway, Iceland, Portugal, Denmark, Greece, and Turkey joined later. So we believe by this time the capitalists had to form a military alliance to protect the capitalists in case they were to be attacked by the what? By the communists. In case they were to be attacked by the what? By the communists. So I can tell you it was a defensive alliance of the capitalists in case they were to be attacked by the what? By the communists. So before I continue, I'll emphasize to you our customer Farouk of Uganda's idea, rise up every time. Rise up every time. So we are saying, what were the reasons that led to the formation of NATO? Number one, to stop the promotion of Russian communism. We are saying today, NATO was formed to stop the promotion of Russian what? Communism. I can say Russia's communism had to be stopped. That's why NATO was formed. In other words, NATO aimed at stopping the promotion of Russian communism. Another one, to maintain peace and stability in the region. We are saying today, NATO was formed to maintain peace and stability. In this kind of arrangement, NATO was formed to maintain peace and stability. Peace and stability had to be maintained by NATO. Another one, to stop dictatorship. I can say to stop dictatorship. In other words, the communists were known for dictatorship. So NATO was formed to stop dictatorship, where I can say dictatorship had to be stopped everywhere. Another one, to defend the independence and territorial integrity of member states. Member states, their independence and the territorial integrity had to be defended. No country was supposed to rise up and attack the member states. And attack the what? The member states. That's why NATO was formed. Then the need for unity and cooperation. All capitalists were meant to cooperate with one another. The game was, they were supposed to see that they help one another in case of any problem. Then the imperial interests of the superpowers. It is said the imperial interests of the superpowers, where I can say USA wanted to promote its ideology, and by this time, that's why it formed the NATO, to promote its what? Ideology. In other words, it was a game of numbers. Then the spy network system, where USA had the FBI and CIA. It was because of the spy network system that NATO was formed. Because by this time, USA, using its spy network, realized that the communists were rising up. That the communists were doing what? Rising up. That's why it formed the NATO, to make sure that communism doesn't rise up. Then the arms race. The arms what? Competition in the production of military equipment, where the capitalists wanted to be greater than the communists, and this influenced the formation of what? NATO. because by this time they had to form NATO to promote their greatness. Then the Treaty of Brussels, signed on 17th March 1948. So the Treaty of Brussels, signed on 17th March 1948. What was the Treaty of Brussels? This was a treaty which was signed to promote capitalism. It was from this treaty that they came up the idea of forming what? NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So I can tell you, NATO was formed to promote capitalism against communism. They were meant to use NATO forces to protect, of course, fellow capitalist countries. So you need to understand why NATO was